He knocked my hotel room, and before I could say anything, he was inside. I had no guts to ask him to leave the room. Sometimes he would even knock my door at 2 at night and demand love from me. I was obliging him even though my heart was screaming, "This is wrong, this is wrong." This sexual abuse went on for almost 2 years, whenever we were going outstation for shooting. Then once, a miracle happened. You will be shocked to hear that. Please watch till the end. I go by the name Bela, although it isn't my actual name. It's not a matter of shame, rather, using my real name could prevent me from securing new roles in movies. During my school years, I secured first place in a state-level dance competition. My dance teacher complimented me, suggesting that I could become a renowned actress if I pursued a career in films. This prediction resonated with me, and I found myself repeating it day and night. Once, even my mother overheard me speaking in my sleep, declaring, "I will become a movie star." She was astonished by the clarity of my speech during slumber. My aspiration was unmistakable to me. During my school years, my parents wouldn't allow me to pursue a career as a child actor in films. I was keenly anticipating the day I would start college, which would give me the opportunity to seek out filmmakers for a role. Everything changed when I started studying in college and moved into a hostel. I was quickly named the college queen. Sapna, the former college queen who was in her 3rd year, lived in the same hostel. Far from being jealous, she treated me like a younger sister. One day, Sapna remarked, "Bela, some girls possess only beauty, while others have both beauty and acting talent." It seemed she was drawing a comparison between us. She was quite impressed after witnessing my performance in a college play. She told me, "Bela, you were completely immersed in your character. I'm certain you will excel in the world of cinema." My confidence could have soared, but my roommate immediately said, "Unless you sleep with the directors and producers, no one will give you a chance. First become a prostitute, and then, maybe, you'll get an opportunity to enter movies. After that, it's just luck whether you become a leading lady or just an extra. There are thousands of beautiful girls struggling for a break in the industry. Join the queue and test your luck." From then on, I lost my sleep. I wanted to become a movie star. But I did not want to sleep with anyone for that. My dream was shattered. Sapna noticed the sadness on my face, and asked, "Bela, what's wrong? Are you okay?" I tried to avoid her question. But Sapna was like an older sister to me. She took me to a park, and we found a secluded corner to sit. Instead of opening up, I found myself crying uncontrollably. Sapna asked, "Are your parents doing well?" I replied, "Yes, they are. Until now. But all hell will break loose when they find out I have slept with someone." I could hear Sapna take a deep and a worried breath. "Why did you sleep with someone, Bela? You're so young." "I didn't. But I have to. I've been called for an audition. The director may ask me to sleep with him. Unless I agree, I won't get a role in the movie. And then, I won't be able to face my parents." Sapna remained silent for almost 5 minutes, as if she knew it was inevitable. That every girl has to give in sexually to be selected in a movie. She then moved closer to me, and placed her arm on my shoulder. "Listen, Bela. You're not the only one. There will be dozens of other candidates at the audition. Yes, you're right. I've heard that most girls are mentally prepared to offer themselves for a role. But there's something else." My disappointment grew after hearing this. But when Sapna mentioned that there was something else, I thought, maybe there was something that could work in my favor. "What is it, Sapna?" I asked. Sapna replied, "I mean, if that's the criteria for getting a role in the film, can they give the same role to multiple girls when most of them are willing to go to bed? Besides, nowadays there are female producers and directors. It's no longer a completely male-dominated industry. If you're lucky, maybe the director who will conduct the audition will be a woman." I tried to smile. But the chances of auditioning before a female director were slim. What if the director was a man? Sapna smiled. "Not all directors require you to sleep with them before making a decision. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to come across one of those men." That night, I slept well. I even dreamt that I was auditioning for a female director. The next morning, I went to the temple to pray. "God, please let the audition be conducted by a female director." God listened to my prayer. In the hall, there were almost 20 girls vying for a single role in a TV series. Nervously, I sat among them, noticing that all the other girls were dressed provocatively, with revealing outfits and short skirts. Doubt began to creep into my mind. Am I truly cut out for this industry? But then, I remembered Sapna's advice. Just because they dress a certain way doesn't guarantee them the role. As the first girl entered the interview room, I watched her closely. She adjusted her top, seemingly trying to emphasize her assets, as if the men inside would be judging her based on her breast size. Within 5 minutes, she emerged from the audition room. I asked her how it went, and she looked tense. A waste of time. What's there to show when there's a woman in there? Most of the girls were disheartened to learn that a woman was conducting the auditions. What could they show without a man present? Would a woman appreciate their attempts to impress with sexy clothing? But I felt a thrill. It seemed as though God had answered my prayer. He had arranged for a woman to conduct the auditions. I won't reveal the director's name. As I mentioned before, my real name isn't Bela, and I'm telling this story through the novelist S.A. Spencer. S.A. Spencer, known for writing historical romances, like The Pink Mutiny and The Black Waters, has advised me not to disclose my real name. Let's refer to the director as Anita. I don't want to reveal her true identity and risk losing work in this industry. She asked if I would be willing to wear any costume required by the story, which can include sexy bikinis. I immediately gave my consent. I began my dream career in the film world. My prayers had been answered. I no longer feared being sexually harassed, as the director of the project was a woman. I was thrilled when the production team booked my ticket for the shoot in Goa. I knew I would have to wear sexy swimsuits, but I had no objections. After all, the director had asked if I could adapt to the demands of the story. The shoot in Goa went smoothly, and I was given accommodation in a 3-star hotel. They even booked my flight in economy class. As I mentioned before, it was a low-budget series. When I found out that the male lead was given a business class ticket and stayed in a 5-star hotel, I couldn't help but feel a twinge of jealousy. But I couldn't complain at this stage of my career. I am giving a temporary name to the hero. Thomas. In this male-dominated film industry, revealing the real name could jeopardize my own career. Thomas is a successful actor. I found him to be extremely polite. Of course, I heard a few things about him that I didn't particularly like, but rumors are common in the film industry, and most of them are probably fabricated. One evening at around 10, I was strolling along the beach in front of my hotel. I spotted a familiar face. It was Thomas. He seemed drunk and was walking unsteadily. He paused for a moment and glanced at me. There was something unsettling in his gaze, which made my heart race. However, he quickly turned away and continued walking. I felt a bit uneasy. Why did he look at me like that? What was going through his mind? That night, I struggled to sleep, but as the hours passed, I reassured myself. It's not uncommon for people in this industry to drink regularly. Our next shooting location was in Gopalpur, another small coastal town near Bay of Bengal. Thomas recommended that the producer accommodate me in the same 5-star hotel where he stayed. I was thrilled. That night, while I was strolling alone on the beach, I saw Thomas, who was clearly intoxicated. He inquired about my room number. Despite his drunken state, I didn't feel uncomfortable around him, as he wasn't speaking incoherently. I went to bed. A knock sounded on my door around midnight. Without hesitation, I opened it, assuming it was impossible for anyone to bypass the hotel's security and enter at such a late hour in a 5-star hotel. To my surprise, it was Thomas. I was taken aback. I couldn't refuse him entry even though I was wearing a night suit. He came inside, and instead of sitting on the sofa, he sat on my bed and asked me to sit beside him. I felt nervous. What was the reason for his unexpected visit at such an awkward time? I mustered the courage to ask Thomas what was going on. He explained that he was impressed with my work and wanted to reward me. It was heartwarming to hear, but I couldn't fathom how he planned to reward me in the middle of the night. I could only manage to say thank you. Unexpectedly, Thomas began unbuttoning his shirt, leaving me frozen in shock. He then proceeded to unbutton his trousers. It became clear to me that I had to make a decision. Sorry, Mr. Thomas, but I am not that type of girl. I don't sleep with anyone, I firmly stated. Thomas chuckled. Didn't you tell the director that you were willing to make adjustments? Adjustments? I meant I would wear appropriate clothing for the story, I clarified. Ah, I see, he laughed again. In the 4th episode, we have a bedroom scene together. Our body language should convey what happens in the bedroom between a newlywed couple. To truly do justice to the scene, we need to rehearse it here. Come on, darling. I was absolutely furious with Thomas. Please leave my room, I told him sternly. If you don't, I will call the police. Just remember, you're in my territory now. Gopalpur is only 20 kilometers from my father's house, and he can be here in no time. Thomas was fuming, but he reluctantly put on his shirt and stormed out of the room. I closed the door behind him and made my way to my bed, taking a deep breath to calm myself. Trying to get some sleep, I was interrupted by the buzz of my phone. It was a WhatsApp message from Thomas, with a video attached. His message read, "Watch it, and then decide. I'll be waiting." Confused, I clicked on the video, and was instantly frozen in shock. It was me in the bathroom, completely naked. I remembered it was the bathroom of the hotel in Goa. Did Thomas install a camera in there? I quickly got up from my bed and thoroughly searched the bathroom, but found no trace of any device. A knock sounded on the door once again. I knew it was Thomas, so this time I invited him in. I had decided to confront him. As he sat on my bed, Thomas smiled. He told me that the video he showed me was just one of many, and that it would circulate worldwide, without anyone knowing it came from him. With a heavy heart, I began unbuttoning my pajama, knowing that I had to comply with Thomas's demands. He stayed on my bed for nearly an hour, before finally leaving. "Good girl," he said. "You understand the norms of the industry." The next day, the director informed me that the producer had increased my price as Thomas was pleased with my acting. Since that day, Thomas became a frequent visitor at night. Sometimes, he would knock on my door even after 2 in the morning, demanding that I entertain him. Thomas and I worked together in 3 OTT movies over next 2 years, and we were considered the best on-screen couple on the small screen. We both were in Singapore for a shooting. We stayed in a 5-star hotel, in adjacent rooms. I was surprised when he didn't come to sleep with me. Deep down, though, I secretly longed to see this man suffer, to experience a living hell. On the 3rd night, I couldn't sleep well, and decided to take a walk. The 5-star hotel had a beautiful garden, and with a clear sky and a full moon, it was a perfect night. I strolled around the front garden, feeling safe within the hotel compound. Suddenly, my eyes fell upon a car. Thomas was inside, accompanied by a girl. I couldn't help but wonder who she was. Was he trying to promote another actress in my place? Insecurity consumed me, and I quickly retreated to my room before Thomas could spot me. I wanted to leave my door slightly open, so I could observe who this woman was. However, I was unsuccessful. The next evening, I sat in the hotel lobby by around the same time, finding a spot where I could sit, without being noticed by Thomas as he walked towards the elevator. I prepared my mobile phone in video mode, ready to capture the scene. Thomas entered the lobby, accompanied by the girl. I began recording them both. To my surprise and horror, she looked like a 14-year-old schoolgirl. I watched the short video repeatedly after retreating to my room, confirming my doubts. Thomas kept bringing that girl over every night, igniting a fury within me. For 2 years, my heart urged me to remove Thomas from my life, even at the cost of my film career. Yet, my desire for success in the industry consistently overruled. I empathized with the teenage girl. My research revealed that in Singapore, engaging in a relationship with an underage girl is punishable by law, even if she consents. A week later, we finished shooting the film, and were on our way to the airport for our return journey. Thomas went ahead to immigration, while I followed behind. As I approached the immigration counter, I heard Thomas yelling at someone. To my horror, a group of police officers were surrounding him, engaged in an argument. Fear gripped me. Thomas attempted to assert his fame and special status, but one of the police officers bluntly informed him that no one is above the law. Thomas was arrested. We departed without Thomas, who was left in the care of the production manager. Although the film production was halted, I was lucky enough to find roles in other movies, allowing my career to flourish. Almost 3 months later, I learned that Thomas had been sentenced to 60 years in prison, 20 years for each of the 3 nights he spent with that teen girl. It was me who anonymously sent the videos to the police. Thus, I sought my revenge. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to encourage more stories. Feel free to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section.